What's up everybody, my name is Jake and my gamer tag is JustBusher, and in this video I will be explaining how to beat the first 3 parts of the Crota's End raid. And if you're looking to see or find a strategy for how to beat Crota, if you want to see what my team did to beat Crota, it's very fast, very simple. I go pretty in depth explaining it. I'll click the link on the screen right now, and I think that video should help you out. But anyways, in this video I'll be explaining the first 3 parts. Section 1 right here. After you fall down this deep, dark hole of blackness, you have to traverse the abyss as it's about to pop up. In the section 2, you have to cross the bridge, which is a whole lot of craziness going on, but I'll get to that later. And section 3 is reach the summoning crystal, and you gotta beat that punk wizard or whatever. Alright, but this is the first part right here. It's obviously very dark, and what I recommend is move as a team to these lamps right here. And obviously what these lamps do is take down your weight of darkness, as you see there on the screen. And you're going to want to watch out for all of the massive amounts of exploding and cursed, well, same thing. Those exploding and normal thralls that will wreck your shit. And there's a few knights along the way, but there's about 15 or 16 of these lamps. And there's holes in the ground, obviously, as you see here. But the best strategy is to move as a team and have whoever gets there first, you call out like, hey, next lamp or next light is to the right of us, coming up to it. And if you got teammates lagging behind, turn around and shoot so that they don't die. And you can kind of make it a little easier on yourself the next lamp by clearing out the thralls. The weapons I recommend is I use Fatebringer with the explosive damage and the headshot explosive damage. Takes them out very easily. Some people use machine guns, Suros, just high damage or heavy fire rate weapons. Now, going solo doesn't really work, you know, kind of going on your own in this part, because you kind of need as many people as possible for the last part of this section, to because you get a lot of enemies and it gets very crazy. Now see, what I'm doing here is I'm stacking my agility. I recommend that highly, because you can't double jump, and if you could weight of darkness 10, you can't run anymore. So if you can stack your agility, either one of your classes, whichever one will give you more, you can run a little faster, and it doesn't really do anything for your jump, but running faster is very crucial. One part right here, and I think it's about after the 10th lamp, sometime after that, you have to run uphill, and there's holes all over up the hill. So that's one part to watch out for. And of course, thralls are always getting up in your face during this. But that's about the best strategy for getting to what's about to come up. Is there's this little circle platform you have to stand on right there, and watch out for the lamps. Don't stand by them too long, because they will explode and it will kill you. You have to stand on the circle platform behind you, and you're building a bridge. And what's happening is you no longer have to run anywhere. That's nice, but you got cursed thralls, regular thralls, and now knights and ogres coming at you the whole time. You got knights and ogres a little further down. It's thralls the whole time, but knights and ogres will come periodically. And it's not that long, but you get a lot of ogres, and they will wreck you with their eye blasts. And you got sword knights coming at you. And so what we did is we had 2 people watching each side and 2 people watching in front, calling out, hey, we've got knights here, ogres here. You need a lot of communication in this whole raid. It's very crucial to have a good teamwork and a lot of communication, because it's not really puzzle based like Vault of Glass. It's calling out, communicating, working as a team. And that'll get you through the raid a lot easier, and it goes really fast if you have a really good team. Yeah, that's pretty much the first part. I do a little dumb right here, and try to see if I can cross the bridge. Because this was our very first run. All this footage is from our very first run, going in blind, and these are all runs where we figured it out. We know what we have to do now. But yeah, this is from our first run, so it's a little iffy. But all you gotta do here is have at least one person cross the bridge, and it'll come up on the bottom left there, saying that the path is there. Perfect timing. The path forward is clear, and now you can run and you can double jump, and you just gotta make it down this long ass light hallway, and you'll get your first loot drop. But that's the first part. Moving on to the next part. Alright, section 2 of the Crota's End raid is very crazy. You have a lot of stuff going on in this one. There's the first loot drop, by the way. I got gauntlets, which is pretty sweet. But yeah, it says cross the bridge, and what you have here is you have two totems, one on the left side, well, if you're looking at it this way, but we call it the right side. One right there on the left side, and one over on the other side, straight ahead, on the right. And then you have another platform like in the last part, where if you stand on it, it'll build a bridge. Now you can't cross that bridge unless you have a sword, and every so often, a sword bearer will come down those stairs right up there, and you have to, as long as you have a guy, or whatever, how many guys on building the bridge on that little platform, you have to have someone on each one of those totems, otherwise they'll go crazy and just kill you. You just all die if you don't have someone on those. But if no one's on building the bridge on that little platform, you don't have to be on the totems. So that's pretty clear. If the totem's about to go crazy, you don't have people up for it, just get off the bridge and stop building it. Now what I'm doing right here is, after you kill a sword bearer, he drops a sword, and you have to go at least one person at a time, picks up the sword, and goes across the bridge. And right now we have about 3 people over on the other side. So what we do is when we get 3 people over, at least 3, we get off the bridge, deconstruct it, let them build the bridge. Here I'm about to kill a gatekeeper. Recommended attack is just keep, I was doing / heavy here, but what works is you just keep hitting right trigger on him, right trigger, right trigger, right trigger. As a 31, like 3 hits will down him. But you shouldn't have no problem beating a gatekeeper. But as I was saying, once you get 3 guys over to the other side, you get off the bridge on this side. I'm back on this side. I was just showing you what to do with the sword. You see, that's the sword bear you gotta kill. They come periodically. You get off the bridge on this side and let them build a bridge on the other side, so they have control, and they have to make sure they're on their totems as well. So it's the same setup on the other side. As long as you got a guy building the bridge, you gotta have a guy each on the totem. And once that's happening, you can move freely on this side. You don't have to worry about building the bridge or staying on totems. What we do right here is I hop up on this thing. I don't know if you really have to do it the way I just did, but you can hop up on there, hop over to these things, and there's really good protection. You don't have to worry about the knights and the thralls and exploding thralls and all the other guys that spawn up on that side. Once you get more people over the other side, knights will spawn up on this side. But once you get all 6 guys over, what starts happening is when some wizards and knights will spawn up on the other side once you got about 3 or 4 guys on that side. Once you get all 6 guys over to the far side, ogres and hallowed wizards will spawn up, and all you gotta do to beat the crossing the bridge section, the second section of the raid, is to kill those ogres and those wizards. Let's see, we messed up here. Our last guy coming across did not fully kill the sword bearer, and that was a bit of a pain. And again, this is our first run ever, so it looks pretty sloppy, but we have no problem with it now. And this part is actually pretty easy as long as everybody knows what they're doing. And you just make sure you have a strategy out. Okay, this guy's going over, then this guy's next, this guy's next. And if you're 30 plus, you should have no problem running the sword. And as long as you're smart, I recommend staying on these little totems, even if you're not building the bridge, because they're still a pretty safe place. But when the ogres and the knights come, I go far right, straight ahead right there. But an ogre will come that side, as you can see right there. So just kill the ogres and the knights, and that section will end, and you'll get your loot drop. Oh, and don't forget to restack your agility, or unstack your agility and back to your armor. I recommend having more armor for this section. I recommended weapons is like maybe a Vision of Confluence. Unless you like auto rifles, just use a good legendary auto rifle or Suros. I use Fatebringer Fatebringer Vision of Confluence only as primaries through this raid, and Rocky Icebreaker as my secondary. We made sure to help snipe the guys that were still back on the beginning side that need to kill their sword bearers, because they're up in the little hidey spot, and they can't exactly. The sword bearer likes to hide sometimes, so help out as much as you can. Again, communication is key. to say what you're doing, or do you need help? You know, I need help over here. This sword bear's dead, or sword bear's going right. Guy's like, I got the sword, I'm running across, gatekeeper's over here, yeah, just communication, which really helps. But anyways, that's the second part of the raid, and I believe we're supposed to get our next loot drop pretty soon. Right there. I only got energy, but my inventory is full, so it didn't pop up on the screen. But the third part is kind of a little in-between part between the second part and the third part. Right here is just a small hallway, and this is the run to the exotic chest. And if you want to get the exotic chest fast, I recommend having rockets, and you have at least 2 guys ready to run, and you have everyone else run up in there and shoot the shriekers, because there's 2 shriekers, and there's not really invisible, but there's walls at the shriekers. So you rocket the shriekers, jump over the thralls, or kill them, because there's some exploding thralls along the way. And kill the second shrieker, hop over the thralls, and there's a little hole that's coming up. You jump over the hole, and you can get through that door before it closes right ahead. The exotic chest is in there. If at least one guy can get through the door, then he can open the door and everyone else can get it. But this part, yeah, you can skip most of this. Just kill the shriekers fast enough so that you can get to the door before it closes, because it starts closing as soon as you start this part. Alright, after that whole fun exotic chest run, jump down the hole, and you have to reach the summoning crystal. And this part's pretty crazy as well. What I recommend is just running past these hallowed knights at first. Don't bother touching them, because what happens is right there, that singer prepares her song. There's a evil punk witch or wizard in the middle of that room over there that you have to kill. And to reach her, you don't really have to kill this boomer right here like we did, but that was our strategy at first. Now we ignore pretty much all of the knights and the accolades in this part. What we do is we have a guy, we split up into 3s. 3 people go left, 3 people go right, ignore the knights, and one guy from each side goes in and draws the wizard out. There's a wizard on each side, and you just have to shoot off like 1 round, and the wizard would come on out. So your guy runs back, everyone busts out Galahorns or icebreakers or whatever they got. And like I said, just ignore those knights as long as you're far back enough they won't attack you. Take out this wizard. And each side can do that. You don't have to do it at the same time. You can do it either way, because if one side finishes faster, they can run to your side, the other side, and help you out. Now, after you kill a wizard, there's shriekers on each side, and you can pretty much have one guy go in there and solo it, but 2 is probably safe. Have 2 guys run in here and kill this shrieker right there. And pretty easy to kill a shrieker. And after you kill a shrieker, you're gonna want to get out of there, because the shockwave blast or shrieker blast will chase you very far, and they will kill you. Like right there, see, they're all the way out there. And you can take your time with this part, but you only have about 3 minutes before this liturgy thing, Liturgy of Ruin, happens, and you got 30 seconds once it starts to kill this wizard right here. And I really got no strategy other than ignoring all the ads and having everybody run in there with rockets and icebreaker and just trying to destroy her. And right here, I was the last one alive, and I Galahorn the wizard right in my face. But after another go, I run in here at like 8 seconds of liturgy at Golden Gun, and one of my teammates had just killed her. So after that, all you gotta do is get out of there, get out of that room, get away from the ads, and you have to take out enough of them that it tells you, defeat Crota, the next mission thing comes up. So just keep killing all the ads until you get to the next mission part. You can wipe, you don't have to kill all of them, you can wipe as soon as you get that. Or you can kill them all and then start the Crota fight. But yep, that's part 3. That's been the first 3 parts. Again, if you want to see our strategy on how to beat Crota, that's in the description. And I hope this video helped. And if you have any questions, leave them in the comments, and I will see you guys next time. Peace out.